Good morning, dear students. I'm going to start the class for the day. So, in our class, in our previous class, I have taken one class already. In that previous class, I have discussed till here. You can see, as you can see, I marked till here. We had completed in our previous classes. So today we are going to start from here. They were elderly men, both of them, and they had been search wardens almost as long as Albert Edward had been Barger. So before we starting this class, in a reference, I would like to tell the previous class. In the previous class, we got to know that at the end of the class that Barger and Beaker was walking to the vestry. And they were talking some incidents, talking about some incidents which happened earlier that day. So now the Barger confronted these two men. These two men, that means these two search wardens, except the Beaker. They were sitting there already and waiting for the Barger and Beaker to confront. So after arriving there, soon after the arrival of the Barger wishes them good afternoon to both the search warden, and after that they were elderly men, both of them, and they had been search warden almost as long as Albert Edward had been Barger. So the two search warden were so much contemporary with the Barger, as the two search warden had joined the search with the Barger, you can say. So they were much contemporary to each other. They were sitting now at a handsome refectory table that the old Beaker had brought many years before from Italy, and the Beaker sat down in the vacant chair between them. So the two search warden, they were already sitting in a handsome refectory, that means handsome dining table, and between them there was a chair. The Beaker sat down on that chair, and the handsome refectory table, that means the dining table, was brought by the Barger, had brought by the earlier Beaker from Italy. It was also said in this point or in this regard. See, after Albert Edward faced them, the table between him and them, and wondered with slight uneasiness what was the matter. So face to face, Albert Edward Foreman sat, that means in front of the three, the Beaker, the two search warden, the Barger sat, and he felt a bit uneasy or uneasiness. He felt a bit uneasiness that what should be the matter today, why they called me, and what is the matter they want to discuss with me now. See, after that, he remembered still the occasion on which the organist had got into trouble and the bother they had all had to hush things up. Hush up, it's a fresh word. Except things, hush up, it's a fresh word, which means to keep secret. So earlier that day, in the occasion, the Beaker had a argument with the organist. Organist means musician. With the musician, and the Barger kept that incident secret. He never disclosed the matter to anyone. In a church like St. Peter's Naval Square, they could not afford a scandal. It is said that in a church like St. Peter's, they never support any scandal, any damage of reputation of the church. So the matter was not disclosed by the Barger. On the Beaker's red face was a look of resolute benignity, but the others bore an expression that was slightly troubled. So the vicar's red face, there was a firmness. He was quite funny, quite you can say easy with the matter which he was going to convey. But the two other, that means the two Sars Warden, they felt a bit or they seemed a bit troubled, because they were much contemporary with the Berger. So what the matter, or what the matter which they are going to convey to the Berger, it was a bit or slightly troubled the two Sars Warden, but not the vicar. Next, he has been nagging them, he has said the Berger to himself. Now the Berger talking to himself that he must manipulate it. The vicar must manipulate it, the two Sars Warden. He understood this matter. He had joked them into doing something, but they don't like at all. That's what it is. You mark my words. So this is a prediction. The prediction of Berger, that the vicar must have manipulate the two Sars Warden. They are not that kind of person to say something to the Berger. So the vicar must have convinced or manipulated the two Sars Warden. So they are here to confront me, to say something to me. This was a prediction by the Berger. Next paragraph, see. But this thought did not appear on Albert Edwards' clean-cut and distinguished features. The thought, he already knew the matter, what is the matter, or what they are going to tell me, their intention behind, a bit understood by the Berger, but it was not appear on Albert's face, clear-cut face. He is a manner of that he doesn't know anything. He doesn't bother. He stood in a respectful but not obsequious attitude. Obsequious means obedient. Obsequious, the meaning of this, obedient. So he stood in a respectful. That means the Berger stood in a respectful manner, but not in an obedient attitude, because he doesn't afraid of anyone. He had been in service before he was appointed to his ecclesiastical office. Ecclesiastical office, that means related to Sars, or you can say prestigious Sars. So the Berger thought to himself that he had been appointed, or he had been in service in that Sars before the new vicar was appointed. So he has some authority. The Berger has some authority, has some power, has some confidence regarding any issue, but only in a very good houses, and his deportment was irreproachable. Deportment means public behavior. The public behavior of the Berger was irrepressible. That means undoubtable. You cannot doubt in the public behavior of the Berger. He possessed a very good conduct with the public nearby. So he was in a perfect confidence. Starting as a page boy, attendant at a wedding. The meaning of page boy means, see, page boy, attendant at a wedding. Wedding ceremony, you must know wedding ceremony. In that wedding ceremony, he used to be a attendant earlier this job. So, starting as a page boy in the household of a merchant prince, he had risen by due degrees from the position of fourth to first footman. For a year, he had been single-handed butler. Another word here, see, butler. Butler means chief servant. Chief servant. Mukha tomar ki hoy sakor hoy. To a widowed peeress. Peeress. Widowed peeress. Widowed peeress, that means a widow women who married to a person. That is widowed peeress. So before this job, the Barzar had been in the service of a page boy. After that, he used to do a job as a butler in a widowed house. So all this is qualification, you can say, experienced. The Barzar was an experienced person. He did job many places, in many places. Until the vacancy occurred at St. Peter's, butler with the two men under him in the house of a retired ambassador. এটা রিটায়ার্ড এম্বাসেডৰৰ ঘৰতো তেওঁ কি কৰিছিল, এই চাৰ্চৰ ভেকেন্সি ওলোৱাৰ আগতে তাৰ আণ্ডাৰত দুজন মানুহ কৰ্মৰত হৈ আছিল। কাৰ আণ্ডাৰত? দ্য বাৰ্জাৰৰ আণ্ডাৰত। বাৰ্জাৰে তাৰমানে ছেইণ্ট পিটাৰ্ছৰ জব ভেকেন্সি ওলোৱাৰ আগতে এজন ৰিটায়াৰ্ড এম্বাসেডৰৰ ঘৰত তাৰ আণ্ডাৰত তাৰ তলত দুজন কৰ্মচাৰী লৈ কি কৰিছিল, কাম কৰিছিল। He was tall, spare, grave and dignified. So the Barzar was a dignified, grave, tall person. He looked, if not like a duke, at least like an actor of the old school who specialized in duke's parts. Though he was not look like a duke, but he was not much apart from the duke's character. He had tact, firmness and self-assurance. His character was unimpeachable. The vicar began briskly. So this was the characteristic of the Barzar, and now the vicar began his talk. Foreman, we have got something rather unpleasant to say to you. So the vicar started that, foreman, listen to me. I am going to convey something unpleasant to you. Though I need to say, I need to convey. You have been here a great many years, and I think His Lordship and the General agree with me that you have fulfilled the duties of your office to the satisfaction of everybody concerned. So you have been here, or you have been doing this job for many years, I know, and you have fulfilled the satisfaction of the office or of the people concerned to this office or SARS. The two SARS wardens nodded. At this point, the two SARS wardens nodded. That means agreed. The two SARS wardens agreed to the vicar's speech that the Barzar had a quality time spent there. Nobody complains against him. But a most extraordinary circumstances came to my knowledge the other day, and I felt it may be my duty to impart to the church wardens. I discovered to my astonishment that you could neither write nor write. So the vicar was saying that in an extraordinary circumstances I got to know that you are not a literate person, and I conveyed or I impart this news to the two church wardens. And I am very astonished to discover that you can neither write nor read. The Barzar's face betrayed no sign of embarrassment. That means the Barzar was not a bit embarrassed at this point. Let him say what he has to say. He was very confident, the Barzar. Next, see, the last vicar knew that, sir, he replied. The Barzar replied that the last vicar knew that, and there was no complaint about this. He said it did not make no difference. The vicar said it made no difference that the earlier vicar knew that fact. He always said there was a great deal too much education in the world so far is taste. So he further said, the new vicar further said that education is a mandatory qualification which is needed in this modern world according to anyone's taste. It's the most amazing thing I ever heard, cried the general. Cried the general. General means here the speaker. He said, I already mentioned that he was very much astonished to learn that the Bharjar was a illiterate person. Do you mean to say that you have been Bharjar of this church for 16 years and never learned to read or write? You wanna say that you have been in service in this church for 16 years and you never bothered to learn to read or write? This is not fair. Like this, the vicar was saying. I went into service when I was 12, sir. The cook in the first place tried to teach me once, but I did not seem to have the knack for it. And then what with the thing and another, I never seem to have the time. I never really found the want of it. I think a lot of these young fellows waste a rare lot of time reading when they might be doing something useful. So the Bharjar was confessing that I have been doing this job since I was 12 years old. First the cook tried to teach me the alphabets, but I did not learn the letters or the alphabets. I don't have time. I don't have time to learn the alphabets or learn to write or read now, as I am much older now. And moreover, the Bharjar said that the young fellows nowadays, maximum of the young fellows are wasting their time in reading. Better they have used their time in other activities. But don't you want to know the news? Said the other church warden. Don't you ever want to write a letter? So the church warden asked the Bharjar, don't you want to know the news? Don't you ever want to read the newspaper? Said the other church warden. Don't you ever want to write a letter? These are some questions asked by the church warden. That whenever you want to write a letter, how could you? No, my lord, I seem to manage very well without education or literacy. I seem to manage. I used to manage my works. And of late years now, they have all these pictures in the papers. I get to know what's going on pretty well. As I am experienced person now, so I can understand what's going around. I got the news without reading the newspaper. This type of utterance uttered by the Bharjar. My wife quite a scholar, and if I want to write a letter, she writes it for me. Bharjar's wife was a scholar or a literate person. He used to write for the Bharjar. It's not as if I was betting man. The two church warden gave the vicar a troubled glance and then looked down at the table. So the two church wardens surrendered by the answer of the Bharjar. Okay, let it be finished till here today. I need to upload it first, and afterward I will give you the link for this video. Thank you for watching the video, and if you have any confusion, any difficulties in understanding, then be frank to share, be frank to ask me. Thank you all.